Hey third graders, welcome to our next bonus lesson on division. We're reviewing today that division can also be fair share. We're going to use tape diagrams and groups to help us. Yesterday when we were working on division, we talked about that the numbers where they're placed in the equation is very important. Today, the first number is still going to be the amount that you start with. That's not going to change. But what can flip-flop in division is the number that you're dividing by, the divisor, and the answer, the quotient. So their meanings can flip-flop. So yesterday we had this number be the number that we were subtracting repeatedly. So that was how many was in each group. And our unknown was how many groups we had. Well, that can flip-flop and change. And so now today, this number is going to be how many groups. We know that we have that many groups, but what we don't know is how many is in each group. So depending on what your problem is, will change what this second number means. So if I had, 12 strawberries and I was putting 6 into each lunch bag, how many lunch bags could I put 6 strawberries into? And so this would be my minus 6, and then I would get 2. Over here today, the problem would be more like I have 12 strawberries and 6 lunch bags. How many strawberries could I put in each lunch bag? So I'm sharing all the strawberries fairly with the 6 lunch bags. So we're going to be drawing our tape diagrams to show that, or our groups of. So here's my 6 lunch bags. And then we're going to pass them out one at a time until they're all passed out. So I have 12 strawberries. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I would do the same thing here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I make sure to draw my dots neatly, organized. When I'm done, all my groups should have the same exact amount in them. If I have one lunch bag with 3 strawberries and one lunch bag with 1 strawberry, I did something wrong, because division is equal groups, just like multiplication. That's why they're the reverse of each other. Anyway, I want you to notice that I still get the same answer. If I start with 12 strawberries and I have 6 groups of lunch bags, 2 strawberries go in each lunch bag. But look how the numbers mean different things because my problem is different. So go ahead and notice the similarities and the differences. The problem is still the same, but what the 6 means is very different, and what the 2 means is very different. Today we're going to be focusing on this right here, where the 6 is how many groups we have. Let's get started. On your first problem for today, we have SpongeBob, and he is making 24 Krabby Patties, and they're going to go to 6 customers. How many Krabby Patties is each customer going to get? First, we're going to draw our tape diagram, and you guys are going to write your problem. So go ahead and do this with me. So you should have this problem written down, and if you don't, do that. And then also, I want you to draw your tape diagram. So each section of the tape diagram, what does that represent? It represents one customer. So we're going to label that on here. So we have one customer. And we have 24 Krabby Patties. Now we're trying to figure out how many Krabby Patties each customer is going to get. Go ahead and try that. Press pause and press play when you're done. All right, I'm going to show you guys the answer. You should have gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So you should have gotten 4 as your answer, or 4 Krabby Patties for each customer. This should be pretty much review for you guys, just like yesterday's lesson, but we're really focusing on what does division mean. Let's try another one. This time Gary has 14 flowers and he wants to plant them into 7 flower pots. How many flowers are going to go into each flower pot? The flowers are the 14 because that's what we're starting with. The 7 is how many groups we're going to be putting them into. So 7 pots. And that's, we know our groups. What our unknown is how many in each group. So we're going to find that out using our tape diagram. Go ahead and do that right now. Press pause and press play when you're done. You can also use the circle for groups if that helps you more than a tape diagram, but since they're the same thing, I'm just going to be using tape diagrams today. Press pause and press play. Your answer should look something like this. You should have had 7 groups for 7 flower pots, and then you should have handed out the flowers one at a time and shared them fairly or equally with each group. Each of your groups should have 2 flowers in it. You should have labeled one group as being 1 pot, and then you should have shown the total as 14 flowers. And you could also be putting the detail of 7 pots down here. And then your answer is 2 flowers go in to each pot. Okay, let's try another. Colton and his 3 friends have 12 cookies. If they share them fairly, how many does each person get? I want you guys to write your equation. Leave blank your unknown, or you can write your letter for your unknown. And then I want you to draw your tape diagram and solve. Go ahead and press pause and press play when you're done. I'm about to show the answer. All right, the answer is that you started with 12 cookies and you're dividing them into 4 equal groups. Your answer was that each friend should have gotten 3 cookies. If you had written your equation with the unknown, maybe you wrote C for cookies until you found it out, and then C would have equaled 3. The reason that there's 4 groups is, don't forget Colton. So there's Colton and 3 of his friends. So there's 4 people total that are sharing the 12 cookies. The groups are each person. So each person is a group. How did you guys do? Please solve these 2 problems on your notes. Make sure that you're thinking that these are how many groups that we have today. So here we have 3 groups and 9 groups. Go ahead and press pause and press play when you're done. I'm about to show the answer, so press pause if you need to. Okay, you should have gotten that these were turnaround facts, and you might have noticed that even when you were writing them down or looking at them for the first time. But here we have 27 divided by 3 equal groups equals 9. And here you have 27 divided by 9 equal groups equals 3. So notice how these could make very different word problems. So where the numbers go does matter, because here maybe I start with 27 cookies and I only share them with 3 friends, so each of us get 9. But here if I shared 27 cookies with 9 friends, each of us would only get 3. So where you put the number and how you think about the problem does matter. It's time for the final problem. Today's a little silly because I found some of my old school pictures, so I transformed myself into different Mrs. Pfeiffers. So your final problem is Mrs. Elf Pfeiffer, Mrs. Pirate Pfeiffer, and Mrs. Mickey Mouse Pfeiffer share 24 candy canes. How many candy canes does each Pfeiffer get? Go ahead and solve this problem with a tape diagram. Write your final answer, and that's it for tonight. Myself and all of the Mrs. Pfeiffers will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night.